It just happened. God just died. How's it going, family? So I promised you guys episodes on happiness, and they are coming next Monday. I already edited the videos and they're coming. There's gonna be a few episodes on happiness, but I couldn't post those videos today, being Good Friday. For us Christians, this is Easter coming. Us Catholics in a special way, we have all the liturgical celebrations these days. Today we had the office at 3 o'clock, remembering the death of Christ on the cross. Tomorrow, Saturday, we'll have in the evening, when the sun goes down, the celebration of resurrection, and then Sunday, same thing. I decided to post this video because I was actually shocked this morning looking at my Facebook timeline and seeing a friend of mine who posted something about this French channel here in Quebec, Canal V, who were airing a movie. Usually, you know, the tradition since a few years back was to show the movie of Jesus of Nazareth. You know, it's Good Friday, Jesus died, and he died for every one of us. And yet this year, the movie that was planned was, I don't know the title in English, but The Dog Who Saved Easter. And I was like, come on, that can't be. So I went and looked it up, and I actually saw that it was true. And it just shocked me in a way, because I felt like, whoa, that's where we're at, you know, as a society. The main thing is that it made me reflect even more. And as I thought about it, I really focused and thought, like, did something really change? Did something actually really change? Since Jesus' death until today, did something really change? I mean, I had the opportunity and the huge grace of going to Jerusalem. And as we were doing the way of the cross, we were just in the middle of all these shops, you know, and I just, like, bothered me somehow. There was so much noise and so much people going around. But then all of a sudden I realized, like, it must have been the same for Jesus. He was just walking in the midst of the people, carrying his cross. For some people, it was a bother. It was something that shocked them. For others, they just went on with their groceries and with their occupations. And it made me reflect, you know, on how even not too long ago here in Quebec, there's so many stories of, you know, especially when there was Latin Mass, of people going to Mass and just holding their missals upside down and daydreaming, even thinking about hardcore stuff. These old ladies praying their rosaries during Mass, you know, and it's just like, where are we at? Like, is this a show, you know? And what's the meaning of all this if there's no relation with God? But because isn't that what he came for? To enable us to have a special relation with him? And you see, it's just so crazy, because all of a sudden, all these images of my hometown village in Italy came back to mind. You know, as I went into this church, I was 19 years old, it was Holy Friday, and I had never been to these offices, and I decided I'd go, and it was so empty, there was no one. And this priest put on an alb, and it was all dirty, and then he put on a stole which really needed to be ironed and was really filthy, and he looked so unhappy. And I thought, you know, why fast if it's gonna make you unhappy? Why don't you just eat your toast in the morning and come in with a smile? But hey, I went on with it. It was boring. The reading was horrible. We hardly could hear it. The homily was empty. And as we went out into a procession, all of a sudden the whole village was there. Those pious ladies in front saying their rosaries and, you know, showing people how they've learned a lesson in life, and then showing around their new rosary, model 1999, because I was 19 years old back then. So now you know my age, I'm 36, right? I was born in 1980. And, you know, their brand new rosaries. And then you see their husband right in back, looking at each other and smiling, thinking like, are those our wives? Like, we don't even recognize them, you know? And then in the back, all these young people laughing just because we couldn't even hardly hear what the priest was saying because the speakers weren't working properly. And then those singing, the songs were so like, I don't know what it is with Italians, but we have a problem with singing. It's just like we have to do those Napoletan type of lyric, you know, symbols, whatever. Anyways, sorry, that's me. So all these images came back to mind, and I thought, like, nothing really changed, did it? Like, I mean, we're all just there remembering the death of Christ. The reason why he died was mainly because he wanted to show us that he wasn't there as this imperial God sitting on a throne and just judging and sending us to hell and dominating us. But he came in this world to show us that he was a God amongst us, and that he wanted us to remember that God is present in our brothers and sisters as he is present in this world. And this presence, we need to live it and share it amongst us. It is the living presence of God that enables us to have a special relation with him. And yet there we are, just repeating the same scenes. And you know, yesterday night we saw those images of the Pope washing the feet of Muslims and Hindus. And I could just see like some conservatives criticizing the fact that the Pope was doing this, that it wasn't liturgical, that it wasn't this. And I was just thinking, like, really? If Jesus put us to the test and came back today, we'd probably be the first ones to crucify him again. Because come on, instead of seeing the love of God present in this washing of the feet, instead of seeing that many of those people who had their feet washed were crying because they were probably seekers of God, seekers of truth, and probably their lives are changed by such gesture. Instead of seeing that, we're focusing on the fact that it's non-liturgical. Isn't that what the Pharisees always reprimanded Jesus? I'm really scared that we got it all wrong. Jesus showed us inclusion. He showed us free love. He showed us sharing. He showed us welcoming. And here we are, fighting between our clans and just creating more and more divisions. That's just my Holy Friday, guys. Let's talk about happiness on Monday.